I don't want criminals in NY Center!
You made a mistake, sir.
12 ex-convicts covered in prison ink surrounded the luxury car when the billionaire threw hot coffee in Marcus Reed's face. Marcus, with scars from 15 years in the system etched into every muscle, didn't flinch. He simply wiped the burning liquid from his eyes with the kind of calm that only comes from surviving hell. "You made a mistake," he said, his voice carrying the weight of 1,000 nights behind bars. But what the billionaire didn't know was that Marcus Reed had just been released from a 15-year sentence for a crime he didn't commit, and the coffee-stained shirt he was wearing was the only interview outfit he owned. What happened in the next 20 minutes didn't just humble a billionaire. It exposed a corruption so deep that it would shake an entire city and prove that the most dangerous thing about a man isn't his past. It's what he does when someone tries to take away his future. Have you ever imagined that someone with the darkest past could have the most protective heart? That's exactly what happened with Marcus Reed. And what he discovered that day completely changed everything. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now, leave your like, and stay with me until the end. Because what happened in this story, nobody was prepared to see. Marcus Reed, 42 years old, stood outside the Downtown Employment Center in Chicago, Illinois. 6'2", 200 pounds of muscle built from prison yard workouts. His appearance told a story most people didn't want to read. Tattoos crawled up his neck, a faded prison number barely covered by a newer design of a phoenix rising from ashes. His arms were road maps of time served, each mark representing something lost, someone he'd been, choices that cost him everything. The dark blue shirt, carefully ironed in the halfway house that morning, was already soaked with nervous sweat despite the October chill. His hands, scarred knuckles from fights he didn't start but had to finish, trembled as he held the folder containing his resume, his GED certificate earned in cell block D, and letters of recommendation from the prison chaplain. 47 days. That's how long he'd been out. 47 days of freedom after 15 years, 2 months and 13 days locked in Stateville Correctional Center for armed robbery, a crime he swore on everything he didn't commit. But the evidence had been there, planted perfectly by someone who needed him gone, and a public defender with. Too many cases didn't dig deeper. So Marcus paid, every single day. And when new evidence finally cleared him last spring, when they opened those gates and handed him $200 and an apology that meant nothing, Marcus made himself 3 promises. Get clean work, stay clean, find out who destroyed his life. The employment center smelled of burnt coffee and defeat. 20 people sat in plastic chairs, most avoiding eye contact with Marcus the moment he walked in. He was used to it. The way people's faces changed when they saw the ink, the scars, the hard eyes that came from surviving places they couldn't imagine. The receptionist, a young woman named Amy, had smiled at everyone else. When Marcus approached, her smile died completely. "I have an appointment, 9:30. Marcus Reed." He kept his voice soft, the way his re-entry counselor taught him. "Make yourself small. Make yourself safe. Don't give them reasons. Have a seat. Someone will call you." She didn't take his soul folder, didn't offer the warmth she'd given others, just pointed to chairs in the back, away from everyone. Marcus sat, waited, watched the clock turn 9:30 into 9:45 into 10:15. People who arrived after him were called first. He knew this dance, had lived it for 47 days straight, still hurt, still made that prison anger bubble up. The rage that had made him easy to frame 15 years ago. At 10:37, everything changed. Richard Blackwell walked in and the entire room shifted. Everyone knew who he was. Blackwell Real Estate owned half the South Loop, had a net worth around $4 billion, and was currently plastered on every Chicago business magazine as the man who rebuilt downtown. 58 years old, silver hair, wearing a suit worth more than most people's cars. He walked like he owned the building. He did. Marcus watched every staff member suddenly stand straighter. The same receptionist who'd barely acknowledged Marcus practically sprinted to Blackwell, offering coffee, asking about his day, laughing at jokes that weren't funny. Blackwell wasn't there for services. He was there because his foundation funded the center, because his name was on the building, because men with billions could walk into any room and be treated like gods. "Mr. Blackwell, let me get you coffee. How do you take it?" Amy was already moving. "Black, 2 sugars. Make it quick. I have a meeting at 11. Blackwell's voice carried that casual authority of someone never told no. He pulled out his phone, scrolling, completely unaware or unconcerned with the 20 people whose futures depended on what happened here. Marcus tried to be invisible, but Blackwell's eyes swept the room and landed on him, stayed on him, taking in the tattoos, the scars, the cheap shirt, the rubber-banded folder. Marcus saw the calculation happen, saw Blackwell's face shift from neutral to disgusted. "Jesus Christ," Blackwell said, loud enough for everyone. "This is an employment center, not a prison reunion. What the hell is he doing here?" The room went silent. Every eye turned to Marcus. His face burned. That old prison instinct kicked in, the one that said disrespect means violence. But he counted to 5, kept his voice level. "I'm here for an appointment, sir. Same as everyone." "An appointment?" Blackwell laughed, sharp and cruel. "For what? Because I can tell you right now, nobody's hiring someone who looks like they just got released from Stateville." "You're right, sir. I did. 15 years. Got out 47 days ago, and I'll take any honest work available." Blackwell's face twisted. "You think honesty works both ways? You think because you serve time, society owes you something?" He was playing to the audience now. "I donate $1 million a year to this center, to help people who deserve second chances, not people with gang tattoos and violent histories." "Not gang tattoos, sir. Just time. And my history's in this folder. I was cleared by DNA evidence. Wrongly convicted. I'm just looking for a chance to work." "Cleared by DNA." Blackwell snorted. "That's what they all say. Wrong place, wrong time, right? Innocent man in the system?" He turned to Amy, who returned with his coffee in a ceramic mug, not the paper cups others got. "How long's he been sitting here?" "Since 9:30, Mr. Blackwell. He has an appointment, but cancel it. I don't care what discrimination laws say. I'm not having my foundation put violent criminals back on the street." Blackwell sipped his coffee, made a face. Too hot. Marcus stood slowly, keeping his hands visible, keeping calm even as every instinct screamed. "Sir, I've been clean 47 days. Before that, 15 years of model behavior. I've got letters from the warden, my counselor, the chaplain. Every program they offer, I completed. I'm not asking for charity. I'm asking for work." Blackwell stepped closer. Close enough Marcus could smell. Expensive cologne. "You want to know what I see? I see a statistic waiting to happen. Someone who'll take whatever job we give, mess it up because you can't function in normal society, then sue for discrimination when we fire you. I see a liability, a risk, a mistake. The only mistake here," Marcus said quietly, "is judging someone without knowing their story." That's when Blackwell threw the coffee. Not accidentally, deliberately. He looked Marcus dead in the eye and threw the entire mug's contents directly into Marcus's face. Hot enough to burn, hot enough to make Marcus's eyes water, hot enough to soak through his only interview shirt, the one he'd saved 3 weeks to buy at Goodwill. The room gasped. Marcus stood frozen, coffee dripping from his chin, his carefully ironed collar ruined, his dignity stripped in front of witnesses, his hands clenched into fists. Every anger management lesson, every re-entry technique, every promise evaporated. He was back in the yard, back where disrespect meant violence, where you responded or became a victim. But then a voice cut through. "Marcus Reed?" A woman stood in the doorway, late 50s, sharp eyes that had seen everything. Her tag read, Director Janet Mills. She looked at Marcus, at the coffee, at Blackwell holding the empty mug, and her expression didn't change. "Mr. Reed, come with me. Now." Marcus moved automatically, following her through the door, away from staring eyes, away from Blackwell's satisfied smirk. Behind him, he heard Amy apologizing to Blackwell, heard Blackwell demanding Marcus be banned, heard voices agreeing, judging, condemning. Director Mills led him past offices to a private bathroom. handed him a towel without words. Marcus cleaned his face, his neck, dabbed uselessly at his shirt. In the mirror, he saw someone he thought he'd left behind, someone defined by the worst thing that happened to him, someone the world decided wasn't worth a chance. "Mr. Reed," Director Mills said from the doorway, "listen carefully. What just happened was assault, plain and simple. You have every right to press charges, to sue this Center for Discrimination, for failing to provide safety. But I'm asking you not to. Not yet." Marcus turned. "Why?" "Because Richard Blackwell is about to learn something important, and you're going to teach him." She pulled out her phone, showed Marcus a video. Security footage from the waiting room, clear audio and video of everything. Blackwell's face, his words, the deliberate throw, all of it. "This goes viral in 1 hour. My assistant's uploading to every platform. Local news is already asking. By tonight, Richard Blackwell's face will be attached to billionaire assaults ex-convict at charity. His board will lose their minds. His investors will run. His reputation will burn. And you, Mr. Reed, will be the man who stood there and took it with dignity. I don't want to be famous for being humiliated. You won't be. You'll be famous for what you do." Next, Mills smiled. "I've run this center 27 years, seen 5,000 people through those doors. The system's rigged against you, designed to fail, but every once in a while someone like you walks in, someone who's done the work, actually changed, and someone like Blackwell reveals exactly what he is, a bully with money. Today you show him the difference between power and strength. How? By doing exactly what you came here to do. Interview, get hired, succeed, while his world falls apart." She checked her phone. Video's already at 50,000 views. Blackwell's walking out now, has no idea what's coming. You'll have a job offer by end of day. Guaranteed. She was right. By the time Marcus finished his interview, his basic re-entry phone was ringing. Calls from unknown numbers, texts from reporters. The video had exploded. 800,000 views, 2 million, 5 million, comments on fire. "This is disgusting. Arrest this billionaire." Richard Blackwell. Should be in jail. Never doing business with Blackwell Real Estate again. Someone hire Marcus Reed. Now. This is everything wrong with how we treat people leaving prison. At 2:47 p.m., a Chicago number called. "Mr. Reed? Thomas Daniels, CEO of Lakefront Construction. I watched what happened this morning. I want to offer you a job, full-time, union wages, benefits, starting Monday." Marcus sat in the halfway house lobby, barely believing it. "Sir, I have a record. 15 years for... No. I read your case. You were exonerated. More importantly, you took a billionaire throwing coffee in your face and didn't touch him. That's self-control I need on my sites. Monday, 7 a.m. Don't be late." 3 more companies called before dinner. 2 restaurants, a warehouse, a security firm. All offering jobs. All saying they saw the video. All saying Marcus deserved a shot. By evening, Marcus had 12 job offers. After 47 days of rejection, of closed doors, of looks that said he'd always be his worst day, suddenly, the world competed to hire him. But the real story was Richard Blackwell. By 6 p.m., the video hit 20 million views. Every Chicago news station led with it. "Billionaire caught assaulting ex-convict." Blackwell's lawyer issued a statement calling it a misunderstanding, saying the throw was accidental. Nobody believed it. The video was too clear, his words too cruel, his intention too obvious. By 8 p.m., 3 major tenants announced they were leaving. Blackwell Properties. By 9 p.m., his company stock dropped 14%. By 10 p.m., his board called an emergency meeting. By midnight, Richard Blackwell sat in his penthouse watching his empire crack, all because he'd thrown coffee at a man he decided wasn't worth basic human dignity. Director Mills called Marcus at 11 p.m. "Mr. Reed, Richard Blackwell's been trying to reach you. Through me, through the center, every channel. He wants to meet. Tonight. Says it's urgent." "What does he want?" "To apologize, supposedly. Honestly, he's panicking. The board will force him out if he doesn't fix this. He needs you to make a statement. Say you forgive him. Make this disappear." Marcus was quiet. "Where?" "Outside your halfway house." Right now. Been sitting in his car 40 minutes. Marcus looked out his window. Sure enough, a black Mercedes parked across the street, figure illuminated by phone glow. Tell him 5 minutes. When Marcus walked out at 11:17 p.m., Blackwell practically jumped from his car. The billionaire looked like he'd aged 10 years in 12 hours. Perfect hair messed, tie loose, face pale. Mr. Reed, Marcus, thank you. I know it's late, inappropriate, but I needed to see you, to talk. Marcus stood on the sidewalk, arms crossed. Talk. I made a terrible mistake today. I was stressed about the meeting, frustrated about something unrelated, and I took it out on you. That was wrong, completely wrong. And I'm sorry. Blackwell's voice was earnest, practiced. The apology of a man who'd apologized out of consequences before. You threw hot coffee in my face, Marcus said quietly. You told me I was a statistic, said I didn't deserve a chance. You did it in front of 22 people. Humiliated me where I was trying to rebuild my life. That wasn't frustration, that was cruelty. I know. You're right. I want to make it right. Blackwell pulled out his phone. I'm offering you a position. Executive assistant in community outreach, $85,000 a year. Full benefits. Company car. You'd work directly with my foundation, helping people like you transition. It's a real job, Marcus. A good job. All I ask is you make a statement. Tell media we talked, you accept my apology, you believe in second chances. Help me fix this. Marcus looked at the phone, at the offer, at the salary he'd never imagined. Let me ask something, Mr. Blackwell. If there was no video, would you be here? Blackwell hesitated. I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do. If nobody saw what you did. If it was your word against mine, billionaire against ex-con, would you be here apologizing? Or would you have forgotten me the second you walked out? Silence. That's what I thought, Marcus said. You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught. That job you're offering? That's not about helping me. That's about using me. Putting the ex-convict you assaulted on payroll so you can tell everyone you're good. So you can fix your reputation using the same man. You destroyed this morning. Marcus, please. My name is Mr. Reed. You don't get to use my first name. Don't get to pretend we're friends. Don't get to buy your way out. Marcus stepped closer, and for the first time, Blackwell looked actually afraid. I grew up on the South Side. My mom worked 3 jobs to keep us fed. When I was 17, I got pulled over for a broken taillight. Cop found a gun under my seat. I'd never seen it before, but I was young, scared, didn't know how to fight. Public defender told me to take a plea. I didn't. Went to trial. Got 15 years because some cop needed to close a case and I was convenient. Marcus's voice stayed steady, controlled, but carrying weight that made Blackwell step back. I lost my 20s, my 30s. I lost my mom. She died year 8, heart attack. I couldn't go to her funeral, couldn't hold her hand, couldn't tell her I was sorry for the pain I caused. When I got out, I had $200, no references, no job, history for 15 years, and everybody looking at me like I was trash, like I was less than human, like I was exactly what you called me today, a statistic. But I've been out 47 days, Mr. Blackwell. 47 days clean, sober, showing up to every appointment, every requirement, every hoop they make me jump through, applied to 63 jobs, got 2 callbacks, both rejected me after seeing my record, been spit on twice, called names I won't repeat, told by more people than I can count I should just give up, that people like me don't change, that I'll be back inside within a year. Marcus's voice dropped lower. Then you threw coffee in my face, in front of everybody, and for about 5 seconds I was going to prove everyone right. I was going to hit you, hard, show you what 15 years of surviving prison violence teaches. But I didn't. Know why? Because I'm not who you think I am. I'm not who the system tried to make me. I'm a man who made it through hell and came out still believing in doing right? Blackwell's phone shook in his hand. Marcus, Mr. Reed, please. My company's dying. The board will vote me out. I'll lose everything I built, everything my father built. 40 years of work, gone. Because of one mistake. One mistake, Marcus repeated. That's what you're calling it. You want to know what one mistake cost me? 15 years, my 20s, my mother, any chance at normal life, and you want me to save you from consequences of yours after. 12 hours? I'll pay you. Name your price. 100,000, 200, whatever you want. Please. Marcus shook his head slowly. I don't want your money, Mr. Blackwell. I want you to understand something. You judged me in 5 seconds, decided my entire worth based on how I looked, decided your money, your power, your position gave you the right to treat me like garbage. And the only reason you care now, the only reason you're begging, is because the world's watching. Because for once in your privileged life, there are consequences you can't buy out of. So here's what happens. I'm not making any statement, not taking your job, not helping you fix this. You're going to sit with what you did, feel what it's like to have the whole world judge you based on one moment, to have everything you worked for mean nothing because of who people think you are. Maybe, just maybe, you'll learn what 11 million Americans with criminal records already know, that this country loves punishment. We're real good at destroying people, but terrible at believing they can change. Marcus turned to walk back. Blackwell grabbed his arm. Please, I'm begging, I'll do anything. Anything. Marcus looked down at the hand on his arm, looked up at Blackwell's desperate face, and calmly removed the hand. You want to do something? Really make this right? Fix the system that creates people like me. Use that foundation money to actually help people transition. Hire people with records. Give them real jobs, not tokens. Pay them fairly. Treat them like human beings. Spend the next 40 years proving what you said today wasn't who you really are. That's how you make this right. Not by paying me off, by actually changing. I will. I promise. I'll do all that. Just please, help me now. No. Marcus's voice was final. Because promises are easy when you're desperate. I want to see what you do when cameras are off, when nobody's watching, when there's no benefit to you. That's when. Character shows. And right now, Mr. Blackwell, you don't have any. Marcus walked away. Behind him, he heard Blackwell sink against his car, heard what might have been a sob. Part of Marcus felt bad, the part that remembered losing everything. But the larger part, the part that survived 15 years of losing everything repeatedly, felt something else. Justice. Not revenge, not cruelty, just the simple justice of a powerful man finally understanding what powerless felt like. The next morning, Marcus started at Lakefront Construction. Thomas Daniels met him at 6:45 a.m., introduced him to the crew, handed him a hard hat and boots. You're on the River North project, building going up downtown, 8 months steady work. You do good, there's more after. You've got a record everyone here knows, nobody cares. We care about work. Can you do the work? Yes, sir. Then get to it. It was brutal. Marcus's body, prison strong but soft, after 47 days of waiting rooms, screamed for the first week. Hands blistered, back ached. He collapsed every night, barely able to move. But it was honest work, clean work, work that didn't require hiding who he was or pretending his past didn't exist. The crew knew. Some had records too. Smaller, shorter, but they understood. They didn't treat him like a criminal. They treated him like a worker. And slowly, day by day, Marcus started feeling like maybe he could actually do this. Maybe he could actually make it. Meanwhile, Richard Blackwell's world continued collapsing. The board voted him out day 3, replaced him with a younger executive. His wife filed for separation day 5, citing his pattern of abusive behavior that had apparently been happening privately for years. His foundation, with his name on it, was renamed and restructured. Major donors pulled out. Partners walked. The empire he'd spent 40 years building crumbled in 2 weeks. But nobody expected what happened on day 16. Marcus got another call. Different. This time, not a job offer. A lawyer. Mr. Reed, my name is Catherine Moore. I represent a civil rights organization investigating police corruption in Chicago. We've been working for 3 years and your name came up. We believe the officer who arrested you was planting evidence. We think we can prove it. And we think there are at least 37 other people convicted based on his cases. All minorities, all from South Side, all convenient. Marcus felt his heart stop. Who was it? Detective James Corrigan. Retired now, living in Florida on a full pension. But we found his notes, his patterns. Photos of evidence that don't match chain of custody. Your gun, Mr. Reed, was logged into evidence 3 hours before your arrest. We can prove it. Why are you telling me this? Because we want to file a massive civil rights lawsuit against the city, against Corrigan, against everyone who knew and looked away. But we need someone to be the face of it, someone sympathetic, someone who survived and came out better. Your video, what happened with Blackwell, it made you known, made you someone people root for. Will you help us? Not just for you, for all 37. Marcus didn't hesitate. Yes, the lawsuit made national news. Marcus's face was everywhere, not as the guy who got coffee thrown on him, as the man who'd survived 15 years of wrongful imprisonment and was fighting to make sure it never happened to anyone else. The case attracted attention from major civil rights organizations, from politicians, from celebrities, from people who'd never thought about what happened to those coming out of prison until they saw Marcus's face and heard his story. And something else happened. Other men started reaching out. Men who'd been through Stateville, men who'd gotten out and struggled, men who saw Marcus working construction, saw him fighting the system, saw him refusing to let his past define him, and thought maybe they could too. By week 6, Marcus had 12 guys meeting at his work site after hours, talking, sharing stories, helping each other find jobs, navigate re-entry, stay clean, stay focused. By week 12, they'd formalized, called themselves Second Phoenix, rented a small space on the south side, started offering what the system didn't: real help, job connections, mental health support, legal advice, a community of people who understood because they'd lived it. Marcus became the face, but it wasn't just him. It was Carlos, who'd done 8 years for drugs and now worked as a paralegal. It was Deshawn, who'd done 12 for assault and now ran a youth program. It was Jerome, who'd done 20 and now counseled lifers being released. It was a brotherhood of men society had thrown away who refused to stay gone. The program grew. By month 6, they'd helped 43 men find employment. 27 were still working. That was a 70% success rate in a system where 30% was considered good. News stations came, documentaries were filmed, and slowly, the narrative around re-entry started changing in Chicago. Not everywhere, not for everyone, but enough that Marcus could see it, could feel it, could believe it. Richard Blackwell watched all of this from his now much smaller apartment. He'd lost his company, lost his marriage, lost most of his money in the divorce and the forced buyout. But he'd kept one thing: the foundation. Renamed, restructured, but still his to run, and on a cold February morning, 7 months after throwing coffee in Marcus Reed's face, Richard Blackwell walked into the Second Phoenix office. Marcus was there, going over job applications with 3 guys fresh out. He looked up and saw Blackwell standing in the doorway, looking smaller somehow, older, humbler. "Mr. Reed," Blackwell said quietly, "I'm not here to ask for anything. I'm here to offer something. My foundation? We've restructured. We're focusing entirely on re-entry now. Real re-entry. Jobs. With actual companies. Real wages. Real support. I've spent the last 7 months learning what I should have known all along, and I want to partner with Second Phoenix, fund you, support you, not take over, not put my name on it, just help, if you'll let me." Marcus studied him, saw something different. Not the desperate man begging outside the halfway house, not the arrogant billionaire throwing coffee. Something else, something that looked like actual change. Why? Because you were right. About everything. I spent 40 years believing my money made me better than people, that my success meant I deserved respect. People like you didn't. And in one moment I lost everything that mattered and realized none of it made me good. You, Mr. Reed, you lost 15 years to a system that failed you, came out with nothing, and built something that actually helps people. That's character. That's what I was supposed to be doing. So I'm asking, not because I need redemption, because this work needs resources and I have them. Will you let me help? Marcus looked at Carlos, at Deshawn, at Jerome. They'd all been there that day, seen the video, knew the history. One by one, they nodded. Marcus turned back to Blackwell. "You fund us. You don't control us. You don't get your name on the building. You don't get photo ops. You show up and you work, like everyone else. Can you do that? Yes. Then we'll try it. But Blackwell, you mess up, you're out. We protect what we built here. Understood? Understood. Richard Blackwell became a regular at Second Phoenix. Not as a donor who visited once a year for a photo, as someone who showed up, who listened, who learned, who used his connections to open doors, but let the men walk through them themselves. It wasn't redemption. It wasn't forgiveness. It was just work, hard work, the kind that changes things slowly. A year after the coffee incident, Marcus stood in front of a city council meeting. Next to him were 63 men, all former inmates, all employed, all rebuilding their lives. Behind them were the family, the children who had their fathers back, the mothers who had their sons, the partners who had their loved ones. Marcus spoke clearly, firmly, with the confidence of someone who'd survived hell and come out believing in possibility. I'm Marcus Reed. I spent 15 years wrongfully imprisoned. When I got out, a billionaire threw coffee in my face because he decided I wasn't worth basic dignity. That video went viral. My lawsuit against the city is moving forward, and Second Phoenix has helped 207 men successfully reintegrate. 74% are still employed. 89% haven't reoffended. These aren't just numbers. These are fathers, brothers, sons who society decided were worthless, who proved everyone wrong. We're asking the city to partner with us, to fund real re-entry, to stop pretending prison rehabilitates when it doesn't, to actually invest in helping people come home. Because punishment without path forward isn't justice, it's cruelty, and we're done accepting it. The council voted to fund Second Phoenix. $500,000 a year. It wasn't enough. It was never enough. But it was a start, and starts matter when you're building something from nothing. Marcus Reed, 43 years old now, walks through the South Side every morning to Second Phoenix. His tattoos are still visible. His past is still there. But when people see him, now, they don't just see an ex-convict. They see the man who stood up to a billionaire, who fought the system and won, who built something that actually works, who proved that where you've been doesn't have to define where you're going. He still thinks about those 15 years, still carries the weight of his mother's funeral he couldn't attend, still has nightmares about prison, still struggles some days with the anger, the loss, the injustice of it all. But he also has work he believes in, men who depend on him, a community he's building, and the knowledge that every single day he's proving wrong everyone who said people like him don't change. Richard Blackwell still shows up every Tuesday and Thursday. He's not Marcus's friend, probably never will be, but he works, he listens, he learns, and slowly he's becoming someone different than who he was. Not because Marcus forgave him, because Marcus showed him what actual strength looks like. That video of the coffee throw still circulates, still gets shared, still gets comments. But now there's a follow-up. Marcus speaking at City Council. Second Phoenix success stories. Men crying as they talk about getting their lives back. And slowly, the narrative is changing. From ex-con gets humiliated to man builds movement. From billionaire throws coffee to community demands change. From look at this terrible thing to look at what's possible. Because that's what Marcus Reed learned in those 15 years behind bars. That the world loves to define you by your worst moment. That it's easier to destroy than build. That punishment is simple, but redemption is hard. But he also learned that hard doesn't mean impossible. That every single day you get to choose who you are. That your past is part of your story. But it doesn't have to be the ending. And on those days when it feels like too much, when the weight of it all threatens to pull him back to that dark place, Marcus looks at the Phoenix tattoo covering. His old prison number. Remembers why he chose it. Because phoenixes don't rise from ashes by forgetting they burned. They rise because they remember. Because they carry the heat with them. Because they know what it costs to fly again. And they choose to anyway. So if you're moved by this story, leave your like right now. And tell me in the comments, do you believe people can truly change? Write yes or no and tell me why. I want to read every single comment. And if you know someone who deserves a second chance, someone who's trying to rebuild, share this video with them. Let them know that comeback is possible. That past doesn't have to be prison. That work and will and one day at a time can build a life worth living. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell because stories like this, stories that show the real human side of struggle and triumph, these are the stories that change how we see the world. Where are you watching from? Comment your city and state. I want to see how far Marcus's story reaches. From Chicago to everywhere, this message matters. Second chances aren't charity. They're justice. Now click on the next video I've picked for you. Another story of someone who refused to let the world define them. See you there.